Good afternoon. All right, somebody is here. This is going to be quite interesting. Not my cup of tea, but yeah, this was not intended as a live chat. I had made the video, went to edit it, and I had added in it was about 3.5 minutes, the unboxing, the kids' reaction and things like that. And just kind of left it because it was editing, and went to go and answer some comments that I have been trying to get to for the past week. And the computer, my desktop, shut off. Just shut off. So, yeah, tragedy. And it was strange because everything else was on, and I just thought, oh my goodness, I can go in and do the video, but I was in the middle of doing something. That's why I don't like electronics. So it's not bad, but for the meantime, until I finagle some things, I'm probably just going to do live chats. So everything will be live because I just don't feel like I have to. All of my files are on the desktop. They're not lost, but all of my footage is there. So pretty much everything I record, I have to upload it onto this computer or the kids' computer, and that's a lot of work because I have to put my the editing software on there. So I just don't feel like going through all that right now, and it'll be my desktop will be fixed before I go through all that trouble. So it's really not worth it. But the problem is my power supply. If you all know anything about computers and electronics, and you've ever lost your power supply, that's what happened. The power supply died. So if not, and you have to call a IT consultant, I feel for you, because just to tell you that that's what the problem is, they probably charge you $100. So it's an easy fix, but again, they're charging parts and labor and just a consultation. But fortunately, IT consultant in the house, so it's just a matter of getting another power supply and opening up the computer and putting it in there. So I am looking down because I'm looking at my phone to see the chat, because I can't see the chat from the other computer. So that's why I'm looking down. But yeah, so I'm just going to run this, and I will show you all where I store these books, where I'm going to store the books, because that was part of the footage. And then the rest of it, you'll see it again eventually anyway. That shelf, if you watch yesterday's video, the bookcase right here, there's the next shelf underneath the one I actually showed. I might have showed a little bit, but there's some space there. So they're going to go there, or they may go on that storage cube next to this one. The Target storage cube, I can move some things around because it's deeper than this bookcase, and I can put them double because it's quite the chapter books, quite a lot. So yeah, I do have space, and the point of it is I'm purging because I don't want to give the facade that I'm steadily bringing things in, and that kind of I always wonder when I see people bring more and more in, where are you storing these things? Because for somebody looking at this and not really listening to what I'm saying, which is why I'm putting it up front, it may warrant a whole new bookcase or a whole new storage system, and that's not the point at all. If you have to go to that extreme, it's time to downsize. take some things out and make some room rather than trying to, on top of buying more, buying another storage solution. I repurpose everything. So I will find something from another room and bring it in here. And I'm not buying any more shelves or storage. And the only one I actually bought in here was the one from Target. The rest of them came from the Goodwill or secondhand or, you know, something like that. So I'm not buying anything else. I need to talk to you later tonight or tomorrow. I need some serious help. Okay, you can call me. I'm sorry to hear about your PC. My computer needs to get fixed too. Okay. All right. So were you all excited for these books down here?
Uh-huh.
You were very excited, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many books were there? Can you remember?
Probably 24.
Exactly, 24. What did you tell me about these books? What was so special about all of these books? What did they have on them?
Medals.
Medals. So it's a Newbery honor. You all know I'm a big fan of Newbery honors and Caldecott honors. You know, the Coretta Scott King honors. So that is what I was on the hunt for and score. I have screenshot the price because I also put the price in the video. So I had to go in and screenshot. So I will just show you so that you can see why I went this route as opposed to something else. All right, let me get going. Guess what? Can you guys go into the living room for me? Thank you. Learning as we grow. I purged our bookshelf recently too. Okay, yeah, it's a lot when you think about it. Thank you. You kind of have to, like I said, let go of some things. The kids outgrow things, and you just don't need those things anymore. There's no point in keeping those things around. You know, place value. It just make room. I like to see emptiness, if at all possible. And it's too much when you just have stuff on top of stuff on top of stuff. It's crazy. That just to look at it, sometimes it's overwhelming. So I'm just, you know, going back from previous spaces and rooms. This room is a lot bigger, but it does not give me the facade that because it's bigger, I have more space and I can add more. It's packed. Okay, it's packed. There is no more. I'm not doing it. I am not doing it. It is huge in here, but sometimes I look at this stuff and it's like I just want to see empty shelves. So, all right, so let me run this book haul. I'm going to talk briefly about couple of these books. And that's it. What I want to say is if you have a mature 8-year-old, this would be good. But 9 to 12, 13-ish is about this age range. You all know I have a couple of high schoolers. Some of this stuff is heavy, and I am going to point that out. You don't want to give heavy to small children. So this is going to last us for quite a while. And I don't have an intention. This is what? Winter. So about once a quarter or once a season. That's when I tend to do these hauls. So I was, of course, again, intentional on what I bought. And I almost gave up. It took me a while. I'm on eBay looking. And, of course, I can just go and pick out the book that I want. But that's not what I wanted. I was trying to get the right price point and shipping and or, you know, no shipping, free shipping, whatever. And I had already built a cart. I have a cart on eBay. I have a cart on Amazon. I have a cart on Rainbow Resources. And so I was happy to look up on what I did, but honestly, I almost gave up because, I mean, that search, it just took days and days and days to find because I'm so picky. Exactly what I wanted. But once I got to, okay, it's a Newbery honor, let me search there. And so a lot of times when you're searching for books, that's what you want to do. Narrow down your category as best you can. Don't just go for homeschool because that's a broad category. And just that label, homeschool, is going to be marked up 5 times the price. So, yeah. All right. So I left you all with the question, if you watched the video yesterday, did I find the book I wanted? I got it. It's in great condition, but I got it. So this is the one I had been after in the summer book haul that did not come in that order, and they couldn't even tell me why they didn't include it. I don't know. They couldn't find the book, but I needed this book then. So we have The Cricket in Times Square. You guys know my kids are all about outside nature, animals, and bugs, and all kinds of stuff. So, of course, this is one that I needed. But yeah, price wise, like I said, I'll show you at the end. This probably would have run me about $4, maybe a couple of dollars shipping, and you know, I got lucky. All of these came from one lot. So we got The Cricket in Times Square. This one I was excited about. Oops, I forgot to take this label off. It has somebody's name on it. Not to cover it up. But anyway. Miss Hickory. Another Newbery honor. This one is about, also about animals and nature and things like that. Miss Hickory is very smart. She is needing the help of her friends in the cold winter. Her friends are the crow, the bullfrog, and the groundhog. So this is another one. There's some things that are going to happen in the spring, and so yeah, that's cool. Next, another one that was in my cart on Rainbow Resources, The 21 Balloons. Takes place in San Francisco. They're going across the Pacific Ocean. Professor Sherman, so is his name. And so this is a magnificent story. So again, and I've seen 21 Balloons. A lot of people gravitate. It's in a lot of book lists. It's in a lot of box curriculums. So yeah, I have 2 repeats that we already have, but that's okay because they will be a shared reading or passed along to somebody else that may need them. One, The Slave Dancer. And so obviously this is not one for my little kids, but my older kids have read it. So we have that one. And we also have Dear Mr. Henshaw, Beverly Cleary, which we also have already. So but they're in nice condition, and I may put, like I said, pull off double books that we have, and I think some books we might have 3 of, and just pass those along to somebody that might need them. This one is called The Singing Tree. It is a sequel to The Good Master. Up there. Hungarian Family. It talks about the war, Russian soldiers, German war orphans. Again, this is a heavy book. It is recommended for ages 8 to 12. In this lot, I noticed that this person, the genre is kind of like this. But then I have what I've just shown you. So I like that. I really like that. This is another one that is in my cart on Rainbow Resource, and my son is excited to read this one. The Whipping Boy. So the story really of 2 little boys, a prince and a pauper, and they kind of switch places, and The prince, misbehaves and gets in trouble. So he's kind of taking on the life of the pauper.
No,
Yes.
you're almost eating it all.
Okay, we'll make some more. There are some
I want my own.
couple of illustrations in these books.
I want my own popcorn.
Okay, hold on. So,
And
see that.
a bag.
You have to wait a minute though. Another one that I had on my list, The Sign of the Beaver. So again, nature. We have Native Americans. So Matt, this takes place in a cabin in Maine. He's 12 years old. He has to survive the wilderness on his own. So, very nice tale. That's a 5th grade reading level. Kids are excited for this one. Amos Fortune Free Man. And I had asked them in that clip if they could guess what any one of these books may be about. And this one was one that they did guess. So, another awesome read. And so since we are all about freedom this year and slavery and things like that, this is a good one to have. Let's see, the next one is called On My Honor. And a little boy on a bicycle trip to a state park. There's another little boy, conflict. They've been warned not to go to the river and something happens. So there is, it's a little heavy. There is death in this book. So you want to be careful. If you are going to read that, that would be one you want to pre-read. This one also is good. The Mover Outers. Cover that up. All right. This talks about Pearl Harbor. The story of a California teenager. And, of course, Pearl Harbor and Japanese Americans and things like that. They are struggling to retain their dignity. So you want to use your discretion with that one too. It's a good one. This one, definitely I have to use my discretion. The Black Cauldron. Okay. Again, there's going to be talk about warriors and, cauldrons and soldiers and things like that. How I feel about this is the same way I feel about Harry Potter. I had to read all the Harry Potters. My children know they can distinguish what is presented from the creator standpoint. The magic and the black magic and all of that. They are okay with that. But again, that's not one that we're going to read right away. So yes, I do let them read those types of books. My children were reading Roots at 10 years old. So this is not, that's not going to, they can distinguish. We have another one, Door on the Wall. And I remember Door on the Wall from when I was young. So again, kings and knights and things like that. And so a lot of times we don't really touch on a lot of this stuff, but one good book, the geography, it takes place in London. So that's a lot of times what I focus on. And I was just fortunate enough that this was in there. We have Richard Peck, A Year Down Yonder. This is the last haul I showed you, A Long Way from Chicago, which is also by Richard Peck. So, and we have not read A Long Way from Chicago yet. That is on the list. And I'm going to come in and kind of share with you all what we're reading this year, at some point this year. I love to read. Thank you for sharing. Hello. All right, next we have Misty. Everybody loves a good horse story. So they are children raising horses on their grandfather's farm, and they discover that Phantom, a wild horse, has a colt, and it's Misty. So that's that. All right. Next basket. This is another one I was after. This will be one of my reads soon. We have Across 5 Aprils. So Civil War. He comes, out of the age of the Civil War. Very touching. There's some, some bloodshed and all of that. But it's drawn from family records of their grandfather. So, good story. Southern Illinois is where it takes place. This one, it's a mystery. And this one, Belle Pratter's Boy. Okay. So, Belle Pratter is, it's very interesting. Grandparent of, what's the matter?
It's his horse.
Yes, you may make that. Go ahead. Takes place in Virginia. He comes to live. Woodrow comes to live with his grandparents, and Gypsy lives next door. So there's some secret. Gypsy has a secret, and only Belle Pratter's Boy is the only one that is going to learn Gypsy's secret. And this is recommended for 10 and up. And this one I really don't know too much about, but The Winter Room says, I have a crying child. Mom, yes, ma'am.
Something scared me.
Oh, my goodness. Come here. Are you going to be okay?
You will make my own bag of popcorn.
Okay, relax a few minutes, okay? And I'll get you some. Real life, y'all.
But Tariq is making more.
Okay, then you can get some of that, or I'll get you some. All right, The Winter Room is where Eldon and his brother Wayne owe Uncle David and the rest of the family
peanut butter still.
gather. Okay, just a minute. On icy cold nights, and they're telling stories. So, it's one of those you have to, superhero stories, use your discretion. But my kids generally like these type of books. Something about storytelling and stories they like. It's like me sitting down telling them a story. This is a good one. A View from Saturday. This is 4 children that get together on Saturday. They are in the 6th grade, and they are up against, in the Epiphany Middle School, they're up against the 7th grade team. Their school has not had that challenge before. So you have a couple of teachers that are confident in them, and will they win? This one is called Enoch Rise. And I'm not too sure about this one. There's a mystery in this one. So, brilliant, beautifully written, and enchanting. It's a fable. So I need to find out where Enoch Rise is and see. Nobody has ever dared to go out to find what's undiscovered in Enoch Rise. So, we'll have to come back and tell you who was the wise man, who was the fool. Tell you about this one. That one again. Next, we have The Good Master. Horsetail. This one, again, you know, kids love horses. So this one should be, it says, a genuinely joyous and beautiful book, a story that 9 to 12-year-olds should not miss. So it does make mention of gypsies. So if you are not into that genre, this is not one that you want to introduce. Okay, it's not his. Can you calm down just a minute, okay?
I want my own.
Okay, I will get you some in just a minute. All right.
I want my own bag of popcorn.
Hello, 3 and done. Hey. This one we are familiar with, Ella Enchanted. My girls loved Ella Enchanted. We loved the movie. And the girls are excited for Ella Enchanted. You know, things like this, they have lessons in them. They have memorable characters in them. And just the, you know, the scenarios in them are good. I don't consider these twaddle at all. So even though there's some fairy reference, you know, they're still good. She is, of course, very obedient. And that's something I like, you know, that character. So, there's that. And then we have Catherine, called Birdie. She's not your average damsel in distress. She feels trapped. Her father's determined to marry her off to a rich man. Any rich man, no matter how awful. So basically, this reminds me of kind of a fable. Kind of like Rumpelstiltskin, but not. So, of course, the richest man wants to marry her. Is that going to be a good fit? We shall find out. Just another story, Tom and DePaula story. This reminds me of too. Show you the bottom of that. There we go. And lastly, we have The Perilous Guard. Kate's curiosity might be the end of her. So, because her sister Alicia sent an impulsive letter to Queen Mary, Kate Sutton, lady in waiting to Princess Elizabeth, has been exiled. She's been sent to Elvenwood, the Perilous Guard. So, castles, knights, people want to make Kate a slave for life. So, we shall find out what this is about. But this is, you know, geography also. So, you know, a little bit of this is good. This is recommended for, this says level 5. So 5th grade. So yeah, obviously I would not present that until after I read it, because I don't know about this one. But again, I never really have bad experiences with Newbery Honors. They just perform the way they say. So this is 280 pages. I see something about murder and robbery, which I expected. But again, that's for way later. So 24 books. All right, let me switch out of this chat for just a second. Can anybody guess how much you think I spent? Remember I told you I had a magic $10, $20? And that's all I wanted to do. Because I don't have it like that. Let me see how close I can get this. I don't know if I can. There we go. There are my books. $10.95 for all of them. So now you see why I went for that lot rather than just purchasing that single book. I really got lucky. But like I said, persistence is what got me that book because, or this lot, because I was ready to stop for the day. I had enough that day. I think I was probably on all week looking for something worth my while to actually purchase. Wow, that's awesome. My shipping, even with my shipping, that's less than 50 cents a book. It was $7. So again, if I had purchased that one book and I had to pay shipping for it, I probably would have paid like $3 or $4 just for the shipping. And sometimes single books, they will run you, a lot. Shipping has increased. It's just crazy. They are well over $50. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Definitely. And so I will, in later times, show you all where I store these books and how I'm using some of these books. And I'll probably come back and just talk about them, like I said, because they are kind of heavy. Some of this stuff we don't even, here comes the child again. We don't get into. So this, come here. Oh my goodness. This is a good way for me to introduce, certain places and things like that. We don't get too much into the Romans and the Greeks and things like that, and knights and castles, but this is a good one. My castle experience is limited to me living overseas and actually being able to visit a lot of famous castles, so that I can speak on, with them. But other than that, yeah. Say hello.
Hello.
Say, I'm feeling better. Thank you. You don't want to say that right now? Yeah, thank you all for your well wishes and your prayers. They are definitely getting better. It was nice outside yesterday, so they went out. And they sure need it because you see these behaviors. You needed to go outside.
What did you say?
You needed to go outside. You need to go outside now, don't you? They've been outside digging for rocks and fossils and just all kinds of stuff. And that's one of the things I have to, when I said that I have everything that I need book-wise, it's a lot of resource things I'm looking for, and I just cannot find those things for the life of me, and it bothers me. I'm looking for a good map resource. I need blank maps that has all of the maps. I'm finding bits and pieces, places, and that drives me crazy. And I don't know if I'm the only one that does that or cares, but let me show you guys something, because maybe somebody has stumbled across it and maybe not shared. But when I'm looking for maps, I'm looking for, this type of thing, but also I want the physical features, the bodies of water, the mountain ranges and things like that. And I want this in a book. It takes a long time just to search and look for that type of thing, but that is the thing I want, because they are curious to know, okay, they want to know where the rivers are. They want to know where the mountains are. They want to know where the lakes are. So, yeah, I haven't found anything like that yet. So, it is a struggle, and that's 2 pieces of paper. If I, multiply that becomes a lot of paper. So that's what I'm trying to get away from. If I can just get one source and I can, get the maps that I want and just use them like that, that's fine. But those are things that go into their notebooks for geography. So I like to have one set place. Even though we do have the curriculum, the maps are not.
Son that has a white beard.
Yeah, the maps are not like that. So it's hard. Evan Moore has one. Let me know which one exactly. Like I said, I want the physical of all of the, just everything. All of the continents. But I have not, in the ones we have, I've not come across that.
Mom. On there, it's on there, on the screen. Like the rest is yellow.
It looks yellow. Yeah, the lighting is different on the screen. It makes us look completely different. What type of printer? I have a Brother printer, and I did do a video on that. The MFC J870DW. And I'm so backwards, getting ready to hold up the phone saying C, like that's a camera. But yeah, I did a video on it. It is very cost effective. It does not cost me a lot of ink, you know, or paper to, you know, especially with the amount of things. I'm very careful, even though it may look like I do a lot of print work, but you know, 4 pieces of paper, 5 pieces of paper, 6 pieces of paper, you know, that stuff adds up. So I try not to print out everything if I can help it. But this one ran me August in the back to school from Office Depot. It was $99. It was $150. And I was looking at another one. It was somebody else and we were debating, and she ended up getting another one and regretted that she got the other one. And I looked at that one, and I think it was an HP. This one is a 4-in-1 with the fax and scan and all of that. And I'm not, I know Brother is a good product. Print-wise, I was used to HP because I did a lot of photo printing. And this one, I'm not doing any photo printing. It's just basically, you know, copying and printing, you know, schoolwork. But I have used the other features. But it just depends on what you need it for. But I have printed out pictures, and they do, you know, look very nice. What you doing? You don't know? What are you waiting on? Let's see if she can spell. I'm hindering her. She has been waiting for her FRENCHCLASS. So that's what she's been bothering me about all morning, and I told her she had to wait. I have it loaded up on the other computer, but she's been waiting for that. So I'm going to have to get them some lunch and get her on her class. You want to do some reading today?
I do.
Told you. You want to do some math today?
I want to do my French class.
She want to do her French class. So, okay. We're going to do your French class in a little bit, okay? Can you send it to me? The picture, yes, I can send it to you. I will definitely send that to you. So, if you all, hopefully, you know, you took something away from the book haul. Not like I said, you see how I do things and how I just don't rush out to go buy this, that, and the other. There has to be a purpose. Maybe not all of those I will use for a lesson, but a great deal of them. Because I see a lot of geography in them, but I see also a lot of character building in those. So let me know what, you know, what's new, what's in your carts, and where.
I'm falling.
And, you know, everybody is reading comments and things like that, so it may help them out. I'm always checking, you know, major, what am I trying to say, curriculum publishers, you know, their book lists and things like that to see, you know, the up and coming things and, you know, if they're going to be of, you know, help to us. But I also share with you all things that you would not normally see. You weigh me. Not top picks because, you know, everybody tends to gravitate towards the popular books. But, yeah. What else? I want to share later on. You all know we are in the month of February, and so I am going to come back. I shared on Instagram. I shared those on Instagram. The picture you couldn't really see. You saw the kids holding the books. That was a while ago, sometime last month. But that was this haul. So, will you chill out, little girl? I want to come in and share, talk about these books that I shared. And I have seen since I shared, a couple of people pick up a couple of the books. You know, no harm in that. They are good books. That's why I share them. Stop. But those books are used with discretion. A couple of them, just the covers alone, you know, you have to be careful with those books. And so I don't want to give you all the impression that I'm just giving anything to the kids. Some kids cannot handle certain content, and it's taken us a while just to build up, you know, to where we are with the freedom and slavery issue. You know, there are things I can give to the older kids and not necessarily these guys. They just, you know, just the image of it is too heavy. So, but I want to share those resources because I realized a lot of those I had not shared, and I think it's because I was waiting for this month, and I just never got to it. So, I am going to come back and do that. Trying to think what else. I just got about 20 books plus books from my local library, and they asked for 26 cents per book. Ooh, or just a donation. Yes. Goodwill, half price books, Salvation Army are my go-to book spots. Yes. Definitely 25 cents a book. That's what I'm talking about. Yep. You're able to, you know, find those places that have you know, just what you're looking for, or just some things that you wouldn't normally look for. Like I said, this was kind of a mixture of genres, you know, in this one haul, but no doubt they are all good books. Yeah, 25 cents. I would have went to town on that. Went to town, of course, with discretion, because you have to store all those books. So I have a neighbor next door that has some little ones and a couple big ones, and I know some of these will definitely help her out. Her mom is actually the one homeschooling them, but they will definitely help her. So I will be passing some of these things right along to them. And some of the games.
I want my own bag of popcorn.
Okay, and manipulative. Some of the things that I have made, file folder games and things like that. Yeah. I've been into, actually I had some of that I wanted to share, but the footage I deleted from the phone and it's on the computer. So that's going to have to wait, but Leah's calling you.
I want my own bag of popcorn.
I will get you some in just a minute. Some of the things I shared a few years back, I know sometimes people wonder, you know, do you still use that stuff? Yes, I still use it. They still use it. That's the reason why I put so much time and energy into printing that stuff out, laminating it, and putting it together versus going to, you know, stores to buy those things. So, yeah, they still use that stuff. Some of it, yeah, they've outgrown skill level. And I was vlogging about that this morning. Preschool. I miss preschool. The child is not preschool. She's beyond preschool level. And I just kind of missed that, teaching them the alphabet and the sounds and all of that. But my kids, they just grew up on me. I'm starting from scratch, so they're a really big help. Yeah, that's what you want to do. Seek out your thrift stores and your Goodwills and stuff. And your local homeschool groups. What else is starting to come up? Conventions are starting to come up. So if you've not been to a convention, this might be a good time to look into that. You know, price point. See if you can get something going, and that may help. Little boy. I know co-ops oftentimes do, open tables where they do books. You bring in all your books, and it's a swap. So that's a good place to go. But yeah, pool your resources. There are a lot of ways to get things for free. You get books that you don't like. Trade with somebody. Trade with somebody, even if you around somebody with as far as homeschooling, or if you are a local homeschool group, you purchase curriculum that just really does not work. A lot of times people are willing to trade you. So you see a dollar amount, but they may just trade for what you have. So you never know what you can get for free. What are you doing? Okay, as long as you don't have my fresh paper. These kids, I shared the recycle bin. He's over there standing by that white bin. So that's the one of the main reasons why I have it. He's over there making airplanes, because they would try to get my printer paper and my good printer paper, because I have some for them, and then my good printer paper. And I said, oh no, you can't, because they would have stashes, and I would wonder why my paper was going so quick. So yeah, you get something out the recycle bin and make your airplanes. Shari Nicole says, at the end of the year, sometime the teachers study books in the garbage. Yes, brand new. But yes, I have often talked about that. So many brand new books. Yes, use them for daycare, the curriculum. Yeah, in the garbage at schools. That's a good place to go, because and then a lot of them have turned them over to Goodwills and thrift stores. But the publisher comes out with new editions, not to say that they're necessarily different. They may change the cover, and the goods inside are still the same. Just like I talked about these workbooks. A lot of times the covers will change every year. But when you open the book, like Target is good for doing that. It's the same stuff. Dollar Tree too. They just changed the covers, and so they will discard all of that stuff. I've also been on Craigslist and Let's Go. They often have books for free or cheap. Yeah, they do.
I saw the snowman.
Girl, go put your shirt on. Guys, y'all have to excuse her. All right. Don't come back in here. And she's just standing there like, from what I see. Oh my goodness. Oh, you flew that airplane up there. Can you reach it? Okay. The food pantry. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, there are a lot of resources around. You just really have to know where to go. Ask people. Yeah, the school is always a good place to go. Always. Because they discard left and right. Teachers retire and get rid of things. So there are plenty of opportunities to, to get cheap, free, or discounted books. I don't like to do a whole lot of running around. It's easier for me to just sit here and search for what I need. And also that it limits me to sit here and go on eBay. There's a limit. There's only so much I can, It's just like me going grocery shopping. At a certain point, when I get to a certain aisle, I'm just tired of shopping. Thank you for putting on your shirt. So the rest of it, gets left in the store. But I'm very careful about what I'm getting. I'm not just grabbing a book because it's 10 cents or because it's, free. You guys know how I sit here a lot, and I do vlog it, but sometimes I don't put it up. A lot of lots like that $10 lot that I just got, I find those all of the time, and I'm like, I wonder how many people sit here and actually, do this, or they just don't. It really doesn't take that much effort and that much time, but I pass up so many good deals. So many good deals.
Mom, I want my own pop.
All right. Okay, so I'm getting ready to close out this chat. My boys run around in their undies all day long. Sometimes my baby, she just snuck up on me after she's still hot. That's why she took her shirt off. But, come here. You don't really feel that hot, but it's cool in here. So, yeah. Also, check your local library. I just got a letter in the mail from my area library, and they are giving kids one free book a month. Birth to age 5. Oh, that's awesome.
I would pick this one.
That's awesome. We have booked houses on certain streets. Just a little birdhouse. Yes, I've heard about that. They put the books in and they're free. You just leave a book behind. I have heard about that. If you don't know, start one. But I've heard about that. Yep, I have definitely heard about those. So I have to remind my children all the time to take care of books and, be careful, because there are children that unfortunately do not even have a book and would love to have, what they have.
Mom, I want to write my name on this.
Okay, how do I spell your name? Can you help me out?
Z-H-A-Y-A-N.
Say that again.
Z-H-A-Y-A-N.
Z-H-A-Y-A-N. Is that good?
Yeah.
Z-H-A-Y-A-N. They have birdhouses with books all around Capitol Hill. Be careful. Be very careful. So, yeah, got my book, and you're gonna get started. We did finish. What were we reading last? What did we read? Winn-Dixie. And you know what they said after I finished? I said, that's it. I would warn them, that I'm on chapter whatever. I read the last page, and they said, he grabbed the book out of my hand and said, wait a minute, that's not it. You didn't finish. And I said, yes, I did. And then Layla said, can you read it again? So, that was one that they really, really loved. And I knew they would. I really thought they would. And they finished the movie. And if you have not read Because of Winn-Dixie to your children, that's a good one. That really touches everybody. And the movie, that's a winner. That is a good, I see why it's a Newbery honor. But yeah, my older kids love Winn-Dixie. So when I get find books like that, and they are, don't want me to put them down, and I just keep seeing one more chapter, and they don't want me to stop, I know it's a good book. You know, if you want to ever wonder how to tell if it's a good living book, read about 3 pages out of that book. And if they tell you not to put that book down, then you know you have a winner. Sometimes I will leave a book on a bench or somebody else can have. Yes, that's a good idea. I also leave toilet paper on the bench too. Exactly. You never know. You can see things all the time, and you know, people are paying it forward, and you know, it's not something that's advertised. Which do you recommend? I always present the books first, always, in everything we do. Even with my older kids, I always present the books first. And I will talk about that. I have sprinkled things. We have books and movies, and I do that a lot, especially with my older son, because he's not, the way I school him is quite differently. It's not, it's not, I can show you the books, but it's not, you know, by the book. I have to modify things with him. So, he will read. He will read. Given, you know, it's something that is very interesting to him. He will pick it up and read it, even if I don't tell him to. But the movie, he always has to, you know, if there's a movie, I will make sure that he can see the movie as well. But what I did with them and Winn-Dixie, and I think I did the same thing with Ruby Bridges, and I still have that footage. We started the book. Partway into the book, we watched, now if you know Winn-Dixie and, oh, that's what you're reading. The book and the movie are different. Some of the events, you know, did not perfectly match. Some happened before in the book, some happened later in the movie. And so we basically watched the part up until, you know, what I read. And then I stopped the movie and we read the book, you know, for a couple more days. It took a week. And after I finished the book, we finished the movie. We had about 30 minutes left, and then they finished the movie. So, and then they were like, wait a minute, this already happened in the book. Why is this? So they were able to compare and contrast. They said they liked the movie, but they liked the book too. So, but I never give them a movie and say, just watch this, unless I'm just pressed. And really, I haven't done that. I like, you know, they like books. So, I'm able to give them the book. But if it works to where you have to let them watch the movie, let them watch the movie. We watched Ruby Bridges, and we watched the Ruby Bridges movie, and then I found a bio on current, and I say current like within the last year or so, of Ruby Bridges, so they can see how she looks today. Because they always get, is this a real person? So, me too, read first in a movie. I will never forget where I came from. It's very embarrassing to ask for what you need. So I just leave it. It is. You really have to be humble. Yeah, it's a tough one because people would judge you. You know, got something going on right now, and it's like, I don't know. I just don't know how to be received. But the intentions behind it are good. So, anywho, but yeah. Something else I wanted to talk about. I said I did mention a children's book club. And I know it's kind of near the end of the school year for some. So I'm kind of debating on whether I think I got 2 yays. But I don't know if maybe I should wait till the fall to bring it up. But I'm thinking about what I want to start it off with. So, and it won't be a chapter book. So you don't have to worry about that. It'll be something easy. Don't do that. But I think the kids want to do a little book club. And you guys know I always read. I was thinking about doing something. And I don't know. I don't know if everybody reads like me. But yeah. Just to give you guys a little insight. I'll share sometimes on Instagram what I'm reading. Whether it's old or new or reread. Sometimes if I'm on the bus, I'll see a young mother with the baby. I just look over and give her the diapers. Yeah, that is how you do it. I have, yeah, diapers, yeah. Giving out so many diapers. You guys know I cloth diaper. And not just the inexpensive ones, the expensive brand name cloth diapers. I have given out in lots. You know, whether or not they return, that's not my MO, but they bless somebody. Being a couponer, I don't mind helping somebody because I just remember to say it's okay to share. Yeah. All right. So, like I said, I'm getting ready to wrap up. I have been leaving. I don't know where these things are going, honestly, because I don't ever see them except for when I post them. But we have this community setting feature where we can communicate with you all, and I ask questions. And somebody asked me, they want to know how I got started homeschooling. So I'm going to get into that. That'll probably be a chat maybe tomorrow or something. And just kind of go back and, touch on that just really because I think that's what they're looking for. I talked about the whys a while ago, but just really how I got started. And I think that is it's very helpful when I ask you all questions, for the feedback. Let you guys know I'm around and I'm listening. I'm paying attention. I'm trying to kind of reach everybody. And of course, I always share from my experience. So, yeah, you won't get any fluff over here. And to the person that left that comment the other day, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I think it was on the IEP video. If I'm not mistaken, I'm going to call your name Lola Rose. Thank you for supporting me, for supporting us as a brown community here. Somebody was saying it was negative. I'm not going back into that. But she said that our people are small in this community, and I may not have all the glitz and glam as somebody else. You can go back and read it, but my presence is very well appreciated. Thank you. I'm very humbled by that. Yeah, a lot of us have gone. A lot of us, our people are gone from the community, and it's because we just didn't get any kind of appreciation whatsoever. A lot of us have gravitated towards, others, and I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but we as a people need to support each other here. Good, bad, whatever. Support. All right. I love couponing. It's a money saver. I need to update my coupon videos. I play games online, so I don't have to pay. Wow. You coupon just up to your channel. Yes. You guys can go over to the right of their comment. And I think kind of everybody here has a channel. But go over to the right. I'm coming. And you can sub to their channel and still be in this chat. Just click on those 3 little dots or check out their channel. Alrighty, I'm out of here. Like I said, I'll probably be back tomorrow, and I'll probably give you maybe an hour notice, 2-hour notice. I don't know. Just depends on what I come up with and get this computer thing, this power supply fixed and stuff, so I can get back. Great. But thank you for having me and, watching the book haul. Hi, Mommy. Share space. It's fun. It's fun. I look forward to checking out all of you all's goods, or not. Hey, you're late. Go back and watch it. It was a good book haul. All Newbery honors. Peace.